Yo, people, welcome back to DR Sports Transfers. Listen, I'm your host to do the most and never coast, Matisse, in the building once again. Listen, let's get straight into it. Big up the chat. As always, they say slow mode for what? Listen, we have to protect ourselves from spam. Not having that since last time. It's ahead of the curve, you know what I'm saying? Keen. So let's get into it. There's a lot to discuss. Obviously, you can see it on the title. We got Leroy Sane on the menu today. This is a player that I rate very, very highly. 26 years old. He's suffered with injuries, of course. But for me, if Bayern Munich are even open to the suggestion or the possibility of selling it, I think everybody should be after him because he's really just that good, in my opinion, when he's fully fit. Liverpool are apparently interested in the German international. There's been links for Manchester United about an approach. Real Madrid were linked as well. I think when it comes to this player, it's all about whether or not they can agree the fee, because Bayern Munich, from what I understand, their fee was very, very high for Leroy Sane, and rightly so, because he's a quality player. I remember him at Man City playing on that left wing, very, very gifted, very talented, kind of like a modern day Ryan Giggs, the way that he was left footed but played on the left side, stretched the pitch, kept the width, but also could score goals. And then even if you put him on that right hand side, he's not bad cutting in. He had a nice little free kick against Schalke that I remember in the Champions League. I think he's quality. And listen, I think when it comes to Liverpool having interest in submitting a bid, that surprises me a little bit because, of course, their front three, Salah occupies that right side. If you look at the left, it's probably going to be Diaz. Manchester United, however, it makes perfect sense. I think Man United could definitely do with another forward. They've got Rashford. They've got Martial, who's obviously out injured now. But Sancho, you definitely need more. There's not enough in there. Quality and depth is needed. And Manchester United, I think most Man United fans will agree that another winger or another forward is necessary, especially with Martial now injured as well, even if Ronaldo does come back. So makes perfect sense for Manchester United. Will Leroy Sane take a drop out of the Champions League to go and play in Europa League? I'm not so sure. I would be pretty shocked. But, you never know what his situation is. We'll have to take a look. Manchester United also could offer Van der Beek in part of a swap deal for De Jong. Now, again, with this one, I would be surprised again, just because, Ten Hag is meant to be a massive fan, obviously, of these players like Van der Beek, who he's had at Ajax, he's used before. I expect Van der Beek to be a pretty important player for Manchester United, considering the fact that he's played in the system before, he's been a part of it, he knows the football, so therefore he should be able to relay instruction on the pitch, and that's very important. Now, I think Man United at this point, this chase for De Jong is leading to a dead end. Honestly, it's something that's been going on all summer. The player clearly doesn't want to come. I'm pretty sure you guys agreed a 70 million or 70 million euro or 70 million pound deal with Barcelona weeks ago. It felt like you at least agreed a fee, and then it was on the player, and the player has not yet made that green light go. You know what I mean? He has not yet confirmed that he wants to make that move. He seems to still want to stay at Barcelona. It seems like a deal that is dead in the water, that really we should be moving on from a Manchester United point of view, but yet they continue to keep chasing the player. I don't know if it's because their other targets are not as firm or they're not as good and not on the same level. I don't really expect them to be upgrades on De Jong, but even still, you have to, at this point, start thinking of other targets and going for them. We're 7th of August, less than a month onto the end of the window. You would expect now Manchester United would move on from this target and try and get another player in. They need... The season started. Do you know what I mean? The season has started. So it's strange behavior indeed from Manchester United for us to still be looking at these De Jong links. I'm quite confused about it. But here's the alternative, right? Fabian Ruiz, from Napoli, Spanish midfielder, seen as an alternative to De Jong. Again, Ten Hag seems to feel that he can play the role that they need him to play in terms of connecting that defense to that midfield, in terms of that build-up play, holding things together. We know McTominay's not really a DM. McTominay's more of a box-to-box. Fred, not really a DM either, I wouldn't say. None of them really have the positional awareness or the discipline to sit in that Man United midfield. So they need somebody to sit. They need a good guy in build-up who has no problem taking the ball under pressure. He's press-resistant, able to play those triangles. Like I said many weeks ago on this channel, when you saw Manchester United's build-up play, their pass map last season, it was horrendous, absolutely horrendous. They weren't even going there was no vertical pass essentially. Everything was out to the fullbacks, and it was just like the pass map centrally was non-existent. So they need somebody in there to help their build up. Is very essential for Ten Hag. I haven't seen too much of Fabian Ruiz. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm not sure. But listen, if he feels like he could be an adequate alternative to De Jong, as we were literally just saying, you need one. So you may as well go for it if that's the case. I'm pretty sure I've seen him linked with Real Madrid as well. Not so many days ago, but Real Madrid, they've basically revamped their midfield. Tchouameni's coming, Camavinga's coming. You'd feel like it's basically enough now. You know, enough is enough. You got Kroos, you got Modric, Casemiro, you got Valverde. You don't really need it anymore. Mustafa's saying that Fabian Ruiz will go PSG. He's close to joining them. Well, listen, if that's the case, then for me, that's just further sign of maybe if Ten Hag this is their alternative. They just didn't move quick enough, and they're still prolonging that negotiation for De Jong, which for me is a bit senseless at this point. But it is what it is. You know, if that's the guy they're gonna go for the whole window, then you better make sure that you get him. They should look at Rabiot. I mean, I think Rabiot at Juventus is a strange one. He's obviously had a bit of drama in the past. I wouldn't really call him a holding midfielder. Although if you're looking at him at this point in a pivot, he's probably got the discipline to maybe do a job. I wouldn't say he's exactly what you'd be looking for, but you know, it's better than nothing for sure. He's definitely an upgrade on someone like McTominay. So you might have to take a look at a player like him who is available. I know Juventus are trying to clear out some midfielders, so it's not. I don't think it's, you know, the aspiration of Man United to go for Rabiot. I think they would have had higher aspirations with someone like De Jong, but like I said, you have to find alternatives at this point. Neves, they're speaking about as an alternative as well, but we know Neves is not his contract, but Wolves won a lot of money for Neves, like stupid money. We're talking 60, 70 million for Ruben Neves. So I don't know if he's really a viable option either. It seems to be really, let's be honest, you know, when you're making those in-league transfers between Everton and Tottenham, Chelsea and Brighton, we're not like, you know, Sevilla and Barcelona. We don't do discounts, you know. We do the real price. Not a price just for you, my friend. Not none of that. No, like the real price. In fact, forget the real price. We're gonna add double on top. We're gonna give you the price that we would charge, and then we're gonna give you tax, Premier League tax, and maybe English tax as well if necessary. Like these in-league transfers are serious because you're selling to a competitor. You're selling to a competitor, and that's how it should be. You know, I don't really get in other leagues how they like kind of cushion the transfer, give them at a cheap rate. Maybe to build a relationship so transfers come the other way. In the Premier League, it's not like that. Everybody's got money. So they're like, you want Cucurella? All right, cool. 55 million plus add-ons. You want Richarlison? 60 million. Like, it's just that simple. You have to pay. If you want to take a player that's Premier League proven from a rival who is, you know, in decent form, brother's just trying to call me, in decent form, then, you know, you have to pay the price. And that's how it goes. Fofana is another example of that at Leicester. Again, another player that, you know, is looking to be potentially going to Chelsea. You got to pay the price. Let's go to Chelsea because they've offered, apparently, Marcus Alonso, of course, out to Barcelona. He's on the verge. He's on the verge of going to Barcelona. Let's be real. Ever since Cucurella came in, who had a fantastic debut, really, in the game there against Everton yesterday. I watched it. He came on really, really good, brilliant. Honestly, on the ball, quick, progressive, very neat and tidy. Would have fitted in at City perfectly. Really, really, really top player. You can see it. That just leaves the door open for Marcus Alonso to join Barcelona. So, you know, they want a left back, and it looks like they're going to get their man. Tuchel's given the green light on that one. We all know that, you know, Marcus Alonso and Tuchel had a little moment last season as well. At half-time after a little back and forth on the touchline there just before half-time. So, yeah, I think he'll get his wish to go. He's been asking to go all summer, to be fair, so it's understandable. Chelsea actually are in for De Jong as well. Whether they can get this one over the line, I'm not sure because the wages will have to be deferred. But looks like they're willing to put the money up for De Jong. So After watching yesterday's performance, I'm not going to lie to you. They need him. They need De Jong. They need some creativity in midfield. They need somebody younger in there, somebody who's got, yes, you want the build-up play that Jorginho gives you, the comfortable stability in possession, press resistant, building out from the back, fantastic. But then you also need some creativity. You also need legs. You need some dribbling. De Jong kind of does everything. He's got covers, dribbling. He's got Jorginho's build-up play and press resistance. But he's also got some of Kante's legs, I guess, because he's younger. Obviously, nobody quite replaces Kante defensively with his tackles and interceptions. De Jong's not that guy, but at least he gives you a little bit more mobility than Jorginho. So De Jong really does make a lot of sense for Chelsea as a player that Tuchel likes a lot. So yeah, and I know people are cussing about the boring football, but listen, I can't lie to you. We don't care. We don't care. So there is an agreement between Barcelona and Marcos Alonso, like I said, and personal terms have been agreed for ages, so expect that to happen. Hudson-Odoi is looking like he's going to go. Sky Sports were putting it out there today that he wants to play first-team football this season to get regular game time, which is understandable. He's kind of been in Chelsea's peripheral for years now. And Leicester were linked with him. So are Southampton as well. And probably a few other clubs. I'm pretty sure I saw Newcastle on that list as well. So we'll see with Hudson-Odoi. Didn't make the 20-man squad for Saturday's win against Everton. His representatives have been given permission to negotiate with other clubs. Dortmund, Juventus are also on this list as well. And like I said, 2 Premier League clubs. I think maybe potentially 3 on that one as well, as long as Newcastle's interest hasn't completely faltered. And this is the same player that came close to joining Dortmund on loan last summer, and then Chelsea blocked the move because they didn't have the depth. They didn't have the I guess, options at right wing back that their Tuchel would want, because he did try and get Adama Traore. If you remember, he tried to get Hakimi. Those moves didn't happen, so he had to keep Hudson-Odoi. Now, again, I think this is a player that still has potential. I don't think he's done, but he definitely at 21 needs some game time. And it's despite, the records of goals, creative metrics are still pretty good for him. And I still think there's a chance for him. Listen, he's only 21. When you're being linked still with Dortmund, Juventus, it tells me that you've got some sort of pedigree to you. We'll have to see how it goes. But he definitely needs game time. I said he needed game time last year. Didn't get enough. Had a decent spell for like 5, 6, 7 games. And then again, out the team. So yeah, I think he definitely needs a loan deal for sure. So we'll have to see which club he goes to. Will he go permanently? I mean, this is still an option. So we have to take a look. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. Imagine, oh God, I'm not even reading that one out. Couldn't clean Saka's boots. I mean, yeah, Saka's a great player, man. Saka's a great player. He's had regular game time. He's shown the capabilities to play left wing back, left back, midfield, left wing, right wing. Very versatile, which is very important in the modern game. But I like him on that right wing now. Even left wing, he's played very well, Saka. I think he could do a great job at left wing, to be honest. I think either flank, Saka does a job. So, yeah, top player. Relationship with Odegaard is really, really good. Really, really good chemistry. They both obviously like to interchange and drift on that right-hand side. And then you've got Gabriel Jesus is really fitted in really well there as well. So, but I think when you look at Saka, and I know it's easy to just directly compare the players, which I don't really like to do. The environment for young players is much more stable at Arsenal. You get opportunities to have bad games. You're consistently going to get the game time because you have the talent. At Chelsea, it's not like that. The squad is a lot bigger. The pressure is a little bit higher. There's Champions League football year in, year out. And if you have a poor game, you're dropped. It's as simple as that. I remember Hudson-Odoi had a good 6-7 game spell. Poor game against Man United at home, bad finish, didn't beat De Gea 1v1 and was dropped immediately. So the game is just a bit different. The pressure is just a little bit higher. And there isn't this project kind of circulating around the club where that young manager, youngest squad, you're going to get your opportunities. So like I said, I do believe that Saka is the better player right now. That's not even in question. He is factually. But I don't think, in terms of Hudson-Odoi's potential, I don't think he's a way off of these other young English players. I just think his environment is not exactly the same to make that comparison. But he's on. Listen, he's got to prove himself now on this loan if he does go out, because listen, time waits for no man in this game. If you hit 23, 20, 24 and you still haven't done anything, then people will quickly discard of you. Sesko, RB Salzburg's Slovenian striker. We've spoken about him quite a few times on this channel in recent days. We've spoken about him Man United wise. Chelsea had a little flirt with the links, nothing too serious. But it looks like he's going to remain, and he's decided to remain at the Austrian club. And I think that's a good move from him, because listen, you're only 19 years old. You've got a long way to go in your development. If you move to a Manchester United or a Chelsea, first of all, you're going to get the game time. Secondly, are you ready for the game time if you get it? Or are you going to choke under pressure and potentially flop? And then suddenly now you're looked at as a failed wonder kid, or whatever you want to call it these days. So I think for him, just bide your time, get those goals in the bag, get the confidence up. You know, many good strikers have come from that club, move to RB Leipzig or move to the Bundesliga. It seems like a good transition from Austria to Germany. You have to wonder whether these players will settle in as well. You know, whether these players will settle in, whether they will adapt to the English game. You know, family, he's very young. Does he speak the language? All of these things have to come into account when you make a decision to make a move to a club of the magnitude of, say, Manchester United. So I don't really feel like the move even made sense for him, if I'm completely honest. I think it's better that he just stays there. Absolutely blitz it this year and then look at Bundesliga moves, I think, because when you go to the Bundesliga as a striker, as far as I'm concerned, you've got to rip it up, because that league is open sesame. There's no defenses. It's wide open. And if you have had some confidence injected into you, you can go into that Bundesliga and continue your form. I've seen Batshuayi go over there and paste it, and then, like I said, never to be seen again. So I think for me, that's a clear path that he should be trying to follow if he's got good advisors around him. But if you have agents around you that are looking for the money, they can advise you poorly and put you in positions that you're not ready for. And I think we're coming to a point now with players where they've got agents, cool, but what they really need is football advisors. And you've seen like Lukaku sack his agent. You've seen Ziyech leave his agent and move to like more lawyers. I'm not really sure exactly what the change is there, but I think football advisors is important for players, because so many players leave their clubs. They go into systems that don't suit them. They go to the wrong team under the wrong manager. And I think if you're a player and you're invested in your own career, you want your statistics to be good, you want to make sure that you're making the right move, you should actually have somebody that advises you and says, do you know what, that club there, that suits your style of play. It's like a scout, but for you, your own personal scout. So when you get offers and I don't know, money talks, but when you get offers, you know, because it's in your best interest to go to a club that actually will work for you, not just to go where the money is. Otherwise, you're probably going to drop off in your metrics and you won't be able to make the money again. But, you know, go to a club that has been studied and applied to your game. Someone's actually done their due diligence for you, and they've said, you know what, that works, that doesn't, and then you can have a little bit of a comparison. So I just think it's something that we might be going towards in football, maybe, especially when we've seen some just wild moves not work, like Lukaku to Chelsea. But yeah, Matisse, I can lie, to bottle a 3-shot lead with 2 holes left is not a good look. Listen, the pressure got to us. It's just what it is. I haven't been in that title race before. You know, Turkish is experienced in this game, so you just have to just give it to him. It's at least it was drama. You know, at least you got your drama, and it was realistic. I think it was realistic for me to come from last to winning. You know, is that really realistic? Come on now. It's like we needed to make it somewhat realistic for you lot. But it is what it is. All right, let's just quickly go through some comments before we come to a close. Tell us how long Liverpool went without top flight. I don't even know what you even mean by that, bro. Yeah, listen, we'll see. With Liverpool, they dropped points yesterday. Obviously, it's nice to see somebody in the top 6 drop points. Got some big games today. Make sure you check out DR Sports, West Ham versus City. And obviously United play as well. I'm intrigued. You know, my team have done the job. They didn't play very well. Arsenal played well against Palace. Tottenham had a great day. You know, they had a really good day out. So, you know, London clubs have taken care of their business. I'm interested to see what the rest of you lot do. No nerves, I'm sure. Haaland going to show Lukaku how it's done this year. All right, well, let's see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Well, listen, we're going to wrap up. Big up your damn selves. Make sure you smash up the likes on this stream. Let me know what you think in the comments down below in terms of, you know, all of the transfer news that I've just mentioned today. Obviously, it's a Sunday, so it's, you know, it's a good update, but we know Monday morning, that's when the journalists are going to wake up and they're going to start giving the exclusives. So I'm expecting some breaking news tomorrow. Sunday is like their day off. So we're just rounding up, kind of giving you a little catch up of where everything is at the moment. And then tomorrow I'm expecting some serious stuff to drop. So make sure you subscribe. Big up, like I said, and yeah, see you guys in a bit. Big up your damn selves. Peace.